This is a brief review for the AluPen by Just Mobile. As many of you will be aware, I'm actually a guitarist, and that's what I do. The tech blogging stuff I do for fun, and through various different avenues I pursue photography, and that's kind of because of my guitar playing, and all the video work I do is basically stemmed from all of the YouTube videos that I produced for my guitar channel. Now, as a guitarist, acoustic guitarist, I have long nails on my right hand. Now this means that when I use any touch devices like iPhones or iPads or even trackpads on computers, I have a bit of a problem because I can't put my finger completely straight down onto the surface, and that means that sometimes I'm not quite as accurate as I could be, especially when I'm typing on an iPhone. And also, it's a bit of a strain on your fingers using them flat down like that. It's much better to use them like that. If you're constantly holding your hand with your fingers out straight, using them like this, it puts a bit of strain on your wrist, and that, with a lot of guitar playing, can give you slightly sore tendons and things like that. So, really, you should try and get your fingers in the best position possible. Now, you might say, use your left hand. Thing is, on my left hand, I have really tough calluses, and they don't always pick up quite so well when I'm using the touch screen. I guess because the skin is like completely dead. So yeah, I can use my left hand, but it doesn't work quite so well. And also holding things with my right hand, if I'm holding the phone and stuff, I get the same problem with it. I can't quite grip it because of my nails and things. Today I just happened to be in a shop called Graphics in Cheltenham, which has just opened up, and they're a little bit like a little Mac store, but not quite as nice. Anyway, they were selling these, and I just happened to see them. Looks like an enormous crayon, and it's made of aluminium, as the name suggests, AluPen. It's got a conductive tip, which is kind of soft and squodgy. It's pretty large. I was a little bit dubious about the size of the thing, and especially the tip just there, because I thought it wouldn't be so accurate and so easy to use on a screen. I gave it a quick test out in the shop on my iPhone, and I kind of liked it, and I thought that it might help to solve some of the problems that I have. And also I got a couple of drawing applications and some music applications which would benefit from a slightly more precise touch. So I thought I'd give it a go, and I kind of like the styling of it. Although it's big and chunky and maybe a bit awkward looking, it's fairly heavy as well. I don't know, I almost prefer that to the really dainty styluses. So in the box, you just get the usual stuff you get in a box, packaging and stuff that doesn't really do all that much. Some advertising for them, and some stickers if you wanted to stick Just Mobile stickers all over your stuff. Who does? I don't. And then you get a little leatherette carry case for it. I don't know, I might use that. I can't really see myself using it. Who knows? So, onto the iPad. Can't quite fit that one shot. Didn't mean to show you him. Jet Daisuke, superb Japanese tech blogger, and if you're not subscribed to him, you should do. If you don't speak Japanese, don't worry about it. I don't speak that much Japanese. But his videos are always amusing, and he has some really fun tech in there. So, just by way of example, let's take you into Adobe Ideas. Okay, so we're in Adobe Ideas now, and I'm just going to quickly demonstrate that it writes quite easily and fluidly on the screen. Now obviously the tip being fairly thick means that you don't get quite the degree of precision you would get if you had a thinner one. Having said that, it's really no thicker than a fingertip, so it's at least as precise as your fingertip, I imagine, would be. And just doing some quick messing around in Adobe Ideas, I found it much easier to draw using this, and again less strain. The fact that it's quite chunky is almost quite nice, because you have something more substantial there, so it's a little bit like drawing with a pencil or a heavy weighted pen, which kind of feels more natural than any of the tiny styluses that I've seen around. Now, just for general use, it's responsive. I mean, you wouldn't expect it not to be. They've got to market these things and sell these things, so they've got to make sure that it works. For things like music apps, the IMS20 app, which I've got a review coming out for, possibly even out already by the time you read this. So within this app, it's going to be really useful because you can quickly and easily grab things with, for me at least, a greater degree of precision, because like I said before, I'm trying to use my nail at an angle and I just can't quite grab things as accurately as if I was pointing my finger straight down. Interestingly then, I suppose, for women who might have long nails, this is going to be quite useful. I haven't had this very long, so I can't honestly say whether I'm going to end up using it that much, but I think if I can remember to carry it around with me and then actually use it when I'm out and about, then I probably will find it quite useful, but it'll be whether I can bother to carry around this heavy lump of aluminium. That's saying something. I mean, the aluminium has got to be pretty chunky to be heavy. The only downside I can see to this right off is that it's relatively slippery. It has got a slightly anodized finish, but it doesn't really have that much grip. It's shaped like a pencil, so in that respect it grips a bit. But I could envisage a situation where you go to pick this thing up and go to move it to the screen, it slips out your fingers as you're picking it up and whacks down onto the screen, and I mean it could very likely crack or scratch or damage the screen. So I'd be a little bit wary about picking this up around a device which has an enormous breakable screen, because it does have a bit of weight to it. I destroyed my previous phone by dropping an iPod on it, and that cracked the front screen and killed the iPod. I think the iPod died like a week later, and that was my excuse for getting an iPhone 3G. I figured if the iPod was integrated into the phone, I couldn't drop one on the other. So yeah, I quite enjoyed using it so far. I've only had it for a few hours, but we'll see how it goes. So this is the Just Mobile AluPen, and this works on iPhones and trackpads as well. I imagine it'll work on most Android touchscreen phones as well. Any capacitive touchscreen, this will probably do the job.